Hello, SIC fans. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's a cloudy, really rainy day here in Western North Carolina, where I'm located. And it's a good time to talk about our topic today. And that topic is your R game. Because I know your A game is strong, that active game, paddling, being active. And resting and relaxation is just as important to your performance and your health and wellness as getting out and paddling. So we're going to talk about that. My name is Anna Levesque. I am an Ayurveda health coach, a yoga teacher, and I'm an instructor, trainer, educator in stand-up paddleboarding and whitewater kayaking. I've been for 27 years. It's crazy. So what we want to talk about today is why rest and recovery is so important to your health and wellness and to your paddling. So number one is, I know in Wellness Wednesdays, we've been doing a lot of talk about nutrition. And here's the deal. You can eat the healthiest, most nutritious food in the world. But if you're not resting and allowing your body to digest the food you're eating, your body won't be able to actually absorb the nutrients you're taking in. Okay, so you can eat a super healthy, do all the right things, but if you're multitasking while you're eating, or if you're eating as you're walking down to your board and then launching into the water right away, you will not be able to absorb the nutrients that you're eating. So it's really important, number one, for one of the most important things about rest is simply not multitasking while you're eating and taking some time to relax, right? And actually focus on your food, eat mindfully. Then all that hard work you do in sourcing your food and food choices will actually be beneficial to your body and your mind and your paddling performance. Okay, so that's number one. The parasympathetic nervous system nickname is rest and digest, okay? There's a reason for that, right? The sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight, so that's more active. Like if we're out in the ocean paddling or we're on a river paddling and we're activated, we've got that fight or flight, we cannot digest our food. So again, let that rest and digest kick in so you can absorb the nutrients that you're taking in, okay? Another thing that's really important and why we want to pay attention to rest and recovery is that a healthy nervous system requires both activation, right, and relaxation for it to be healthy, okay? So otherwise, when we're always stuck on high, for instance, always active, never letting ourselves rest, always going to the next thing, never getting enough sleep. In the morning, looking at our phones and then drinking coffee, that's like a super spike in activation right away for our nervous systems. And then what happens is we get stuck on high. And then we don't rest or relax to eat, and then we don't digest our food, and then we're on high, and then at the end of the day, what happens is we turn, we can turn to alcohol or something else to bring us down because our minds are so activated, okay? With activity, sometimes when we do too much activity, we also get that activation and our bodies are go, 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 and then there's a crash, okay? When we're up here activating, okay, we have a tendency to increase anxiety in our minds, definitely burnout in the body, adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is huge. It's a big problem in our culture, right? And then we can't perform. Even when we want to, we can't perform, right? You can be training super hard, and if all you do is train and you never allow yourself to relax, you get stuck on high, and at some point your body's going to rebel against you, right? And that's when you get sick. That's when you get sick or you get adrenal fatigue and you crash. Your body crashes. It doesn't give you a choice because you've been ignoring the fact that your nervous system and all of your systems actually need a consistent routine of rest and recovery as well, okay? And also for mental health, right? We don't want to get stuck and have those feelings of anxiety and then crash into depression or feeling lethargic, right? Our bodies and our minds are connected. It's all one system. And so it's really important to take care of both activation, exercise, performing, is really important, whether it's performing at work or performing on the water, and allowing yourselves to come down and rest is also important, okay? And what that does, so think of it more as a wave. We love waves. We love the water, right? So instead of these spikes, which is what our culture kind of promotes, go, 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 I think actually during the pandemic, it's in a lot of ways, the silver lining is forced rest, forced taking it easy. But instead of having big spikes up and down, we want to cultivate waves, right? To where we're activated. For instance, I'm activated right now doing this live because I want to be activated. I'm speaking, right? I have something to share. And then it'll be time to rest and allow my body and mind to rest. So then it becomes a wave-like motion in the body and in the mind, okay? And that will build stress resilience. And stress resilience is important on and off the water, right? It takes practice and it takes training, just like paddling takes practice and training, okay? So we want to train our recovery and our rest and relaxation. Another reason why a rest and recovery is so important is that sleep scientists consider 6 hours of sleep deprivation, right? 6 hours is pretty common in our culture. It's considered normal sleep. But according to sleep science, and there's an awesome book, it's called Why We Sleep. It's written by Matthew Walker, who's a PhD sleep scientist. He's studied thousands of people in his sleep lab, and it's a fascinating book. And we really, when we're sleep deprived, our cognitive function gets reduced, and so does our physical function, okay? And we need both for optimal performance and paddling. So what's especially important with sleep is allowing ourselves to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep opportunity. And especially between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And even more specifically within that, between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That is when the sleep scientists say the deepest sleep occurs, and it's really important. And here's an interesting fact. We tend to think that we can just, if we don't go to bed early enough, that if we sleep 8 hours, like if we go to bed at midnight and sleep 8 hours, that we get the same quality of sleep. Well, according to sleep science, we actually lose even more sleep when we don't actually sleep between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And that's because the 90-minute sleep cycles between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. are dominated by NREM sleep, which is the deep sleep, the slow brain waves. It's really rest and rejuvenation for our brains and our brain cells, and super important. And when we cheat ourselves out of sleep by going to bed at midnight, we can't get back that deep sleep because our circadian rhythm is wired to have that NREM sleep between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. And the other thing is that when we sleep in, we actually feel less rested. And according to Ayurveda, that's because 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is kapha time. Kapha is earth, water, constitution, and it's heavy and dense. And so the longer you sleep past 6 a.m., the more lethargy and heaviness you're creating in your body and your mind. So it's optimal for sleep, according to sleep science and according to Ayurveda, which is the 5,000-year-old sister science to yoga. It's optimal to sleep between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. and always give yourselves 7 to 8 hours of sleep opportunity. And like I said, getting the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker is fascinating and really, really interesting. So those are 3 reasons why it's so important to really step up your R game, your rest and recover game. Okay, so again, the 3 reasons are, doesn't matter how healthy you eat, if you're not actually resting and being mindful and allowing yourself to rest after meals and in between meals, then your body cannot effectively absorb the nutrients that you're ingesting, right? So all that work that you're doing to have a healthy diet isn't really benefiting you as much as it could. And I'll say last thing about resting around food, stop snacking between meals. Allow your digestive system to actually process the food that you put in it, right? It takes 6 hours for your digestive tract to digest a meal. So wait at least 3 hours before you ingest anything else. Okay, according to Ayurveda, snacking is really hard on the digestive system. So again, number 1, rest to help you digest and better absorb your nutrients. 2, your nervous system is designed to ebb and flow, right? So allow it to train it to ebb and flow. You're going to build stress resilience when you actually rest instead of go, 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 burnout, adrenal burnout, anxiety, and then your body can't handle it anymore and then crash. Get sick, adrenal fatigue, can't do much. So then all that training that you thought you were doing, so healthy, so great for you, your paddling performance is awesome, but then your body can't sustain it because you're not giving yourself time to rest. You're not training your stress resilience. And lastly, the sleep science is clear right now on the fact that not all sleep is equal, that you really need to give yourself 7 to 8 hours of sleep opportunity, specifically between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Okay, so some strategies, and I'm going to take some questions. There's some questions coming in right now, and so I will take those in a few minutes. But I wanted to give you some strategies first on how to train your R game. So 1 is develop a bedtime routine. So you might be really disciplined in your paddling routine, in your waking up routine, your morning routine. Awesome. So start looking at your bedtime routine. Are you on your phone until 2 minutes before you try to go to bed? Are you on screens? Are you watching TV where the mind is activated? Start doing some relaxation. Start reading some inspiring stuff before bed, right? Put down your phone so your brain can take a break. Second strategy is relax around meals. That means being with your food, being with that awesome food that you've worked so hard to choose and it's nutritious. Chew more times than you think and stop looking at your phone and stop multitasking, right? And then even take a little rest right after lunch, right? Lunch should be the biggest meal of the day according to Ayurveda. And then you can take a little 10-minute left side lie on your side to help your body absorb the nutrients that you just took in. Rest post paddling, okay? If you've just done a big workout or you've paddled for hours, you've had a great time, allow yourselves to rest. And one of the most relaxing things that you can do. I'm biased because I'm also a SUP yoga teacher, but one of the most relaxing things you can do for yourself after a paddle is lay down on your board. Lay down on your board and relax and enjoy floating on the ocean, on the lake, on the river, as long as conditions, are okay to do that. And just allow yourselves to float and connect with nature and be stoked about what you just accomplished. Trying SUP yoga is another way to get a nice workout that also incorporates relaxation at the end. So try some SUP yoga. Incorporate slower movement into your workout routine, like yoga, right? And meditation, right? Some little breaks, some pauses. And so those are my strategies to help you up your R game. And I am going to take some questions now about rest and recovery. So if you have some questions, go ahead and post them in the comments, and they'll get fed to me so I can answer. And so we have a question from Jane from Florida. Yes, so napping, so her question is, if napping during the day can help make up for sleep loss between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And according to the sleep science that I've studied, the answer is no, it can't make up for it. So that is the interesting thing, is nothing can make up for that lost sleep between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. except getting sleep at that time. Having said that, napping in the afternoon, according to Ayurveda, during some seasons, not every season, can be really beneficial. And the key is to pay attention to your body and what your body is telling you. I think that that's a great way to up both our active game and our rest game, is start to tune into our bodies, right? Our bodies are always giving us messages, sending us messages, right? But we've been trained to not listen, right? And we've been trained to not listen. We've become very disconnected to our bodies. And so that's why it's important to take the time to connect. What is my body telling me? Do I need a nap? And what the science also says is that power naps are beneficial. So you don't want to take a nap in the middle of the day that's like an hour long. You want to take a 20-minute nap. Set a timer, set an alarm. Okay, and that can also be super beneficial after lunch. Again, lunch, biggest meal of the day. Set your alarm, take a little 20-minute power nap, and the sleep science does say that those are very beneficial. It can add to your sleep for that night as well. Great, so thanks for that question, Jane. I hope that was helpful. And we'll see if any other questions. If you guys have questions about rest or recovery, anything I've talked about so far, go ahead and submit them. And I'll be happy to answer. One question that I get a lot actually is, especially on the river, I do a lot of whitewater paddling, and people will say, "Oh, I don't like to eat when I'm on the river." You know, on the river, we'll take a longer day to paddle sometimes, and they say, "I always get indigestion," and so they say, "I just can't eat food." Well, it's not that you can't eat food when you're on a long trip, paddling trip. During the day, we need to nourish ourselves. What I've witnessed is that paddlers don't want to stop to eat, right? They try and stuff food or bars in their mouth as they're still paddling, or as they are like to get back on the water really quickly. And that's what's causing the indigestion. The indigestion isn't the food necessarily you're eating. It is the fact that you're not allowing time for your food to digest and process. So if you're out on the ocean, or like you've done a little tour and you're out for the day, allow yourselves to stop, eat, and then sit for a half hour, right? Or, at least 20 minutes. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy. We're so blessed to be able to paddle and to love stand-up paddleboarding, and it takes us to so many cool destinations. Why not allow ourselves the time to sit there and enjoy our food? So that's one question that I get a lot around eating and paddling. What else you guys got for me? I'm just pausing for a moment. Okay, I see Christoph says, don't have any questions, but totally agree on that. Awesome. Thanks, Christoph. Thanks for tuning in and commenting. All right, well, if no one has any questions, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. And I hope this helps you up your R game as well as your A game. So I hope I have given you some great strategies for rest and recovery. If you want to learn more about Ayurveda, health coaching, or instructor training, or the health and wellness that I do around paddling, please visit my website, mindbodypaddle.com. You can sign up for my newsletter and check out my blog. You can follow me on Facebook, Anna Levesque, that's Levesque, and on Instagram at Anna C. Levesque. And I will post a link to that book, that sleep book that I was talking about, in the comments. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get to go out and paddle today. It is raining really hard here in North Carolina. So I think the rivers are going to be flooded. So I think I'm going to wait a day. But I hope you all get out, enjoy yourselves, connect with nature, connect with the water. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.